Good evening. This is Owen Quinn, the Executive Director of the United Way of Northwest Connecticut, bringing you the next version of Working in Your Community. And I am by myself this evening, and I want to point out one thing. My head may be a little bit sunburned because we had the United Way golf tournament on Monday. And listen, people, if you ever wanted to get treated to New England weather, we had it all. You'd go to one hole and it would be sunny. You'd go to the next hole, it'd be drizzling. The third hole you'd be going to, and there were gale force winds, and then a torrential downpour. Before the thunderclouds came in, and the pros sounded the alarm and pulled us off the course. And there we were on rain delay for what seemed like a long period of time. And of course, if you've been in Northwest Connecticut, you know that this has been an extremely rainy spring. And all the courses are underwater. So the chances of us going out after finishing 13 holes at beautiful Torrington Country Club in Goshen, Connecticut, it was slim and none, and turned out to be no chance. So the chef and the banquet manager, Anne Marie Filippini, started the fire and ovens going and the hors d'oeuvres going, and the 100 plus golfers that came out to support the United Way tournament. And as I said before, it wasn't only the United Way tournament, it was also the Charlie Ormsby tournament. And this year we merged together. So Paul Rougeau of Northwest Hills Credit Union and Doreen Roy, two great people. If you want to do some banking, you want to do some business with them, go and see them. They're a local credit union, formerly associated with the Torrington Company, but have expanded well beyond that. And we had our 38th annual United Way golf tournament. And hard to believe 38 years that the United Way has been involved in this. And it is a very important fundraiser for the United Way to raise money that goes into the general campaign fund and goes out to the 26 programs that we run actually 34 programs that we run in 26 towns in Northwest Connecticut. And last year we began discussions with the Charlie Ormsby tournament and said, you know, there's a lot of golf tournaments. You can go almost every Monday. Everybody's getting hit for donations. And maybe we should think about kind of combining them. And we brought the best of both worlds together. We merged some of the traditions of the Charlie Ormsby tournament. You know, they had the closest to flamingo. They had some great prizes that they worked with Carl's True Value, making sure that we had some grills and Grill Central and things like that, and so many other things. And thank you for that. And so that tournament was on Monday, May 20th. We came in. The thunderclouds came in, the lightning averted us, but it was still an unsafe situation, and we had to go right to the meal. So everyone got home a little bit early, but I have to say, this was really a great tournament. And I'm just going to kind of bore you because sponsors are very important. You really don't make your money in a golf tournament on the golfers. Because that's an expensive part of the day. But where we do make our money is working with our sponsors. The sponsors really pony up some money, and they get their recognition in the bulletin that every golfer gets at their place. But you know, they really stepped up their game, and we had one heck of a tournament. Again, Charlie Ormsby, United Way of Northwest Connecticut, joining forces, had over 100 golfers there until the weather drove us inside. But for this year, we had a dinner sponsor, BD, Becton Dickinson, Connecticut Mutual Holding Company, and Lori Uriska, a local CPA, all were dinner sponsors. We had lunch sponsors, which was Union Savings Bank. Thank you, Union Savings Bank. They're up at the top of the hill. They're in Danbury, and they're huge supporters. And a perennial supporter of the United Way of Northwest Connecticut is Torrington Savings Bank. And, you know, we all know about their hometown banking and the service that they give to people in Northwest Connecticut. Golf cart sponsor, Ken Knoll of Thoreau Knoll Stoughton, LLC, a CPA firm. And then we got hospitality sponsors. And the hospitality sponsors made sure that there were drinks and fruit and snacks, potato chips, pretzels, you name it, power bars. They were all out there on hole number 5 and 6 and number 11. And the hospitality sponsors were Charlotte Hungerford Hospital. Thank you for always being there for us. Litchfield Woods Healthcare. Mark Loomis and Denise are just great supporters of the United Way, and we thank you. And Barron Financial Group, LLP, and we'll talk a little bit about John Seagrave a little bit later. He's a new addition to Barron Financial Group, most likely there a couple of years, doing some major leadership with the United Way, the United Way campaign, the Northwest Chamber of Commerce. Can't say enough about John and what he's giving back to the community. And this year, I went and saw my old friend, Mark Seymour from Lowe's, which is down on the Winstead Road, and they became a premier raffle sponsor. And they really just gave us a grill, a fire pit, and Adirondack chairs, just a great display. Thank you for that donation. And then they brought a couple of golfers up to participate as well. You know, I can't say enough about Lowe's. Customer service is great. You go in as a nonprofit and ask for something. Not only do the staff know where to find it, they give back to the community, and they're just all around good people. I understand that former United Way agency, Police Athletic League, has gotten volunteers from Lowe's to go in and actually supply the materials and do a project. They're in the glass building. And while I'm thinking about the glass building, on Thursday of this week, somewhere around 3 to 5 o'clock, we are going to celebrate the end of the school year with the Northwest Learning Center. And this was the brainchild of June Zeiner, who has been very involved in sending volunteers to Torrington schools. And we're hoping that we're going to expand that to Winstead, to Canaan, to Salisbury, to Falls Village, and get really volunteers to come in and mentor kids one-on-one. Having the school system identify at-risk kids that need help with remedial education, remedial math, and reading skills is something to see. PAC Group in Torrington donated the space. You know, it's real hard to say no to June Zeiner. And we got the space, we've got the tutors, and I believe there's somewhere between 15 and 40 students that will be celebrating the end of the school year. We will be having a summer program so that those kids that have made gains in their education level, they made gains in their reading skills and their math skills. So we're going to have a summer session so that the kids can keep up and they don't fall back, and they keep making progress. So when they go back to school in September, they're going to be really ready to hit the books and the ground running. So our celebration is going to be at the Learning Center. If you're interested, you know, I'd say come on by, show up around 3 o'clock, and we're going to have cake and goodies and celebrate the kids, celebrate the tutors. If you're interested in volunteering and doing something like that, I would certainly suggest that you call our office. And the number is on the screen below, 860-489-4131. Call and ask how you can volunteer. If you need community service, if you're in high school and need graduation credits to go in and work in a nonprofit, call the United Way of Northwest Connecticut. I think we can help you. Again, our telephone number is 860-489-4131. Volunteer, we've got a volunteer learning center that is available. And as I said, the graduation ceremony is taking place. Come down and see June Ziner. Come see the students and the mentors and the tutors and how they all interact together. It's a great space. And again, I want to do a shout out to PAC Group and the amazing work that they do there. We also had in a golf tournament, to go back to kind of thanking people, Northwest Hills dealership. Kevin Sullivan is always a supporter. If you have any automotive needs, go up and see him. He was a hole-in-one sponsor. A number of cars from Northwest Hills dealership were there. A power sponsor who did the brochure, quality work, and does a lot of our signs for the tee boxes, Photo Arts Limited. Our tee sponsors were Aflac, Steve Caruso, Barry Cone Heating and Air Conditioning, Brooker Child Care and Pediatric Dentistry, Brooks Todd and McNeil Insurance, Cadgo Limited, Cisco Memorial, Eastside Electric, Health Complex, Howard Leveri and Finch LLP up in Winsted, Matco, Bill and Rebecca Marciano, Northwest Hills Credit Union, again, Thoreau, Noel Stoughton CPA firm, and Torrington Municipal Teachers and Federal Credit Union. Thank you for a T-Box sponsor, greatly appreciated. They're right on East Main Street. Stop in for any needs there. The Salvation Army Winsted Regional Center had a tea sponsor, and Vic Michelle, who has transitioned from Michelle Law Firm to be the city attorney for the city of Torrington. And then we had Friends of Charlie, Heart to Heart Home Care and Jimmy's Store, and Hobby and Trophy World, who did the trophies. Again, we had some great raffle prizes. A lot of people took advantage of that. We're just counting the money and seeing where we are, so we'll give you a little report on that later. But the golf tournament was spectacular, and my thanks to my staff and Doreen Roy and Paul Rougeau and the committee for putting together such a great job. And I have to say, on the back of our brochure for the golf tournament is a picture of, if I can pull it out here, it's in my list of things to do, picture of Charlie Ormsby. And sad to say, he's been gone about 17 years, I believe, but his legacy lives on because Charlie, who was dedicated to the community, he was dedicated to sports, he was dedicated to the kids of this community, and he wanted his and his friends that in his memory wanted to make sure that disadvantaged kids that couldn't take advantage of golf, who didn't learn golf, who couldn't afford golf, could get a clinic up at Torrington Country Club, and the pro staff comes in and teaches the kids how to swing, how to putt, how to chip, and golf etiquette. And at the end, they have a celebration, and they get their trophies, and it's just a great thing. And we were able to merge the good works that the United Way does in Northwest Connecticut for people that are in need, the Alice population, those people that are working 2 and 3 jobs and gig jobs and can't make ends meet. Those are the people that we're serving. And Charlie Ormsby's golf clinic allows disadvantaged kids to take advantage of the sport of golf. And it's a really important thing to do. And to date, over 800 kids have gone through that program. And that's because a group of people that knew Charlie wanted to keep his memory alive in Northwest Connecticut. And we certainly did that with over 100 golfers. And Charlie's daughter spoke eloquently. Charlie's brother spoke eloquently about what it means to them. All too often people pass away and we just see an obituary in the paper. But Charlie's friends got together and said, let's keep Charlie's memory alive. He loved kids. He loved kids in Northwest Connecticut. He loved Northwest Connecticut, and he loved sports. And what a great tribute to him 17 years hence later. So congratulations to all those people. I appreciate it. And we look forward to you next year. We're always the Monday before Memorial Day. So hope you think about that. Go onto our website at www.northwestunitedway.org. Soon the pictures will be up and posted of the people that participated. You'll see that they had a great time up until the rain delay. But check it out, and you can register for events at the United Way. The next thing that's coming up for the United Way, and I'll just briefly mention it because it's hard to believe that it will be the summer solstice in the middle of next month. We're still trying to dig out from the wet weather here in spring, but that will be a day of caring. And that's a real special day in the United Way worldwide world. It's a day when the United Ways of Connecticut and the United Ways of the United States of America come together and say, on the longest day of the year, we're going to get people to volunteer to do projects in nonprofit organizations. So we have bankers and lawyers and people in Alcoa, Arconic, Becton Dickinson, you name the major companies here, sites. A lot of these companies send a crew of volunteers to work with our nonprofit agencies and do the jobs that normally wouldn't get done because they're on a stringent budget. So they do the painting, they do the grounds work, they do any project that needs to be done. Screens being put up, air conditioners putting in, whatever the agency needs. And what a great opportunity is to take the business community that spends 365 days trying to make a buck, trying to be attuned to customer service, trying to do a product that has to come in and get out of a shop, and let them interact with the nonprofit agencies and interact with people that are struggling. It's important at this time we think about how lucky we are that we have jobs, how lucky we are that we're able to make ends meet. But believe me, in Northwest Connecticut, 30 to 40% of the people are working, 40% are working 2 and 3 jobs, and they're not making it at the end of the month. They're having to go to the soup kitchens, they're having to go to the food pantries, they're going to go to agencies that need help. And so this is a day of caring. If you're interested in saying, hey, my business would like to participate, my company would like to participate in a day of caring, well, then I ask you to, call us up at the United Way and say, hey, I'd like to participate. We'll send you out the forms. It's very simple. 860-489-4131. Day of Caring. Go onto our website at www.northwestunitedway.org. Find out more information how you can volunteer. Giving back to your community, that's what the United Way is about. That's what the United Way agencies are about. That's what the United Way programs are all about. Being there for your fellow man in Northwest Connecticut in their time of need. If you've got some time to volunteer, I urge you to reach out to us. Again, call us at 860-489-4131 or visit our website, and that is www.northwestunitedway.org, and sign up for those activities. Really love for you to do that. Last thing, I had a couple of weeks ago, Maria Gonzalez on the show, and her life story was remarkable. The remarkable journey that she as a young woman came to the United States from the Dominican Republic, and she instantly started giving back, instantly was taught by her mother and her siblings the importance of education. She came to the Winsted area before Torrington. She works in Torrington now with New Opportunities Incorporated, which does some great work for at-risk populations. And the United Way and the Women's Leadership Initiative, headed up by Cara Paganini Muth and Lisa Ferris, and their committee, really dug into who is most deserving. And what they found this year is Maria Gonzalez was the Woman of the Year for 2019. And the organization of the year was the Women and Girls Fund, a fund of the Northwest Connecticut Community Foundation. And the best supporting woman in the role of fellowship and service was Gail Marchand. And what a time we had up at Torrington Country Club. And this gala raises all the money so that we can take 8th grade girls in September and bus them from their 8th grade school to a location where we have a day of empowering young girls. We have motivational speakers. We talk about the importance of education, the importance of saying no to drugs, the importance of saying no to alcohol and other addictive substances that are out there. And we work very closely with the Susan B. Anthony Project so that they can talk about appropriate relationships, inappropriate relationships, how to tell the difference. We work with McCall Foundation, or McCall Center for Behavioral Health, to talk about the dangers of substance abuse and what it's doing to devastate so many lives, not only the people that are taking drugs, but the families that are involved in the devastation that occurs there. And, it's a great day. We talk about nutrition. We talk about health. We talk about all sorts of things. And it's just a great day. And so congratulations to all the winners, A. And B, you'll be hearing more about the Girls Summit. If you've got an 8th grade girl in one of the area high schools or one of the middle schools, give a call to the United Way. Say, I want to hear more about the Girls Summit. It is an exceptional day of empowering these young women. And I'll tell you, it is a show to go to. And you see the energy and the excitement of these young women. It's just a great thing. So we also concluded, I have here in front of me a souvenir that I got from VITA, and that is Volunteer Income Tax Assistance. And the United Way was very instrumental in providing greeters and tax preparers and reviewers to do income tax for people that are earning under $60,000 a year. We did 240 people this year. That doubles what we did last year. We increased the amount of volunteers. It was amazing. And I also, this one is the VITA program, which is 50 years they have been doing VITA, income taxes. And what a payday this is for a person that doesn't have to pay to have their taxes done. That's worth $200 to $300. We're linked in with the IRS. If you want to volunteer for that, talk to us. Call us again at the United Way office, 860-489-4131. You don't have to do the taxes if you don't want to. Be a greeter, be an assistant, make copies. We'd love to see it. And we had a day of celebration down in Waterbury, my colleagues in Waterbury, and they put a little candy bar. You can't see it in here. It's called a payday. And when the volunteers help the people do their taxes, it's a payday that they didn't expect. It helps them with saving money that otherwise would have gone to other purposes. So we had a great night at Dressler's down in Waterbury. And I got to tell you, the volunteers, Anita Rosa, Jeff Geddes, Vic Michelle, Kevin Sullivan, Bruce Cornish, Monica Buckley, Sarah Croshan, Valerie Lochner, Jerry Sabalis, Pam Kerrigan, Candy Perez, Lauren Zordon, Paul Reardon, Owen Quinn, Betty Button, Teresa Hodge, and Lita Curia all got their certificates of accomplishment. But imagine that we did double the amount of taxes last year. And that is a great tribute to the program. I'm not finding it here right now, but if you take the savings of $200 to $300 times 240 people, that's how much money we're saving. And the amount of tax refunds that we were able to process is equivalent to a vacation. Certainly takes care of car repairs that are so necessary to the population that we serve. So the VITA program was a great success this year. And if you'd like to volunteer, call us at the United Way office, call Owen Quinn, and the number's on the screen. Love to tell you how you can help next year. Love to get this up into the Kane and Salisbury, Lakeville area. We expanded big time into Winsted. Have to say thank you to the Salvation Army. Say thank you to the Senior Center, the Blanche McCarthy Senior Center. Both opened their arms to our volunteers, and we just did a great bang-up job. The last thing I also have is that that the campaign is getting underway, and John Seagrave is starting his campaign theme, and we'll be bringing you more about that. The last thing that I really want to talk to you about is I went to a great event. And it starts with May is Mental Health Month. And mental health is a very important issue to us. And 1 out of every 5 adults in America is experiencing mental health disorders. Nearly 1 in 25, that's 10 million adults in America, live with a serious mental illness. And 1/2 of all chronic mental illnesses begins by the age of 14, 3/4 by the age of 24. And I have so many agencies that are dealing with mental health. So it's time for us to think, May, mental health. Maybe you want to make a donation to the United Way. Maybe you want to make a donation to those involved in mental health. But there was also a Chamber of Commerce committee that did a Wellness in the Park for mental health awareness fair. They passed out a lot of great information about mental health. And with those statistics of 1 in every 5 and nearly 1 in 25 millions have a serious mental disorder, it's in every community. It's in Northwest Connecticut. It's across the United States. It does not discriminate. And the Wellness really brought professional speakers out to talk about those people suffering from mental health. There was a Speak Out program, which was very moving. People got to say, this is what happened to me. This is how I was affected. This is what it did to me and my family. And so many of the agencies, the United Way, Connecticut Mental Health and Wellness was there, Center for Youth and Families, Charlotte Harvard Hospital, the Connecticut Junior Republic, Primetime House, Catholic Charity Charities, the Connecticut Mental Health Affiliates, which is on the road. Susan B. Anthony Project was there, Western Connecticut Mental Health Network. They were handing out a lot of information on mental health. And that's kind of what I'm hoping that you'll remember is mental health affects us all. And a heads up, there's going to be a strawberry festival in the park, and a lot of nonprofit agencies will be there. I'm hoping to get the United Way there. It is June 8th between 9 and 4. It's in Cove Park. Who doesn't want strawberries at that time of year? And I'm going to do a shout out because the Elks is having an open house. And the Elks has donated to the United Way just recently $2,000 to the Glen Wynn Campership Fund from the Elks National Foundation, and they gave us a donation of $1,500 for the Food for Your Neighbor campaign. Thank you, Torrington Benevolent Protective Order of Elks. They're having an open house across from the park that same day, and you can go there. So I'll see you on June 8th. Thank you. That's the end of our next segment of In Your Community here in Northwest Connecticut. Good night.